So the question is, what are the forces that lead from technological advances to higher wages? The most important one is so ingrained in economic thinking that it doesn't even have a name. Simon and I call that the productivity bandwagon. Productivity increases. It creates a bandwagon whereby employers demand more labor because they are more productive, so they want to hire more employees. And that, through the labor market's regular functioning, raises wages. But what we point out, exactly like you summarized, is that this hasn't worked so well for many transformative technologies. Eli Whitney's cotton gin is very interesting because it completely revolutionized southern U.S. economy. The growth of cotton was impossible before because the type of cotton that could be grown in the South couldn't be cleaned with existing gins. So it wasn't very profitable to grow cotton. Once you had this new cotton gin, there was a huge boom in harvesting cotton. And then ultimately it led to this big cotton plantations. And many, many people became fabulously wealthy and rich in the U.S. South. So you would expect, if the productivity bandwagon functioned, the workers who actually produced cotton would also benefit. But in fact, they did not at all. They became much more heavily repressed. They moved into worse conditions in the deep Mississippi Delta and areas. And of course, there's a very good reason for that. The workers who were doing that were the enslaved Black workers. They were under coercion, and that coercion tightened when plantation owners and others wanted to extract more labor from them. So that's a very simple example. You see why the type of productivity bandwagon doesn't work, because one group is so much more powerful. That's the institutional basis of it. A second example is from the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. The textile machinery was critical for the early phase of the Industrial Revolution in Britain. It automated work, so it displaced spinners and then weavers, and those groups actually lost out in terms of their labor earnings, and their working conditions worsened because instead of having the putting out system where they had autonomy and skilled work, they were moved into very regimented, heavy 18-hour-a-day work in new weaving factories, for example. So again, you see now another aspect of it, whether it's just automation or contributing to greater worker productivity.